Hey everyone, I am Wen Chao Chen, English name Crystal. I am a Chinese American, a female software engineer in the space industry. In order to promote world peace, I have been working hard for politics behind the scenes for more than 16 years. I have gradually seen very different developments in the United States and China. I feel that these are very consistent with my ideas. It was my invisible friend who told me that my ideas have been well implemented. So it is time to step out from behind the scenes to the forefront. In the past over 10 years, I have done great amount of ideological work behind the scenes and have been recognized by more and more friends. The elements and directions of human civilization that I have identified, including that the United States should regard China as an ally leader and cherish each other, rather than focusing too much on hegemony, which will add pressure and burden to the people, as well as fighting for women's rights, advance mutual understanding and tolerance among women. It is the brightest direction to human happiness and can truly save the fate of transgender people. From the United States to China, we have seen obvious progress. Sometimes people who participate in political work have a relatively fixed mindset, so they're prone to do things the same old way, which is a bit like the confusion of what Chinese people call it, not knowing the true look of Mount Lu just because you are in Mount Lu. I am a person who has nothing to do with profit. I only have a sincere love. On the contrary, I have the detachment, like the Chinese say, of jumping out of the three realms and not in the five fields, and can see things more clearly in a sense. So I believe that I can inject new blood into this country, the future civilization, peace of mankind, and lead everyone to a better and happier path. The most important thing right now is nothing more than to benefit the people in a practical way. So I have been sharing political ideas, love experiences, and wisdom. And I am also considering writing a book. However, I have already shared screenshots of the raw materials, hoping to help many people. In order to help comfort more people, I also want to vitalize my ideas through song performance, hoping to make it easier for some friends to accept them, spark their interest, and be willing to read my sharings of ideas, experiences, and wisdom, and understand the meaning of the lyrics more deeply. Then listening to the songs again would of course be a good way to consolidate. In order to bring greater influences in a more positive and effective way, the political path is the most important channel supposedly, so I need to increase the exposure as soon as possible, hoping to get the most support as quickly as possible. In fact, for some people, good-looking photos can also help soothe their mood, right? So I also hope to cooperate with the modeling company as much as possible to take some pleasing, potentially evocative photos, hoping that it will also be a kind of appreciation and enjoyment of beauty for some friends. Of course, I also hope that they will become interested and pay more attention to the theoretical sharings and benefit from them. In terms of love, I believe many friends are concerning about the love between myself and Wang Gang, or at least have heard of it. In November 2023, Wang Gan and I met each other on the Two Red Beans dating website. We got to know each other and fell in love, which made me discover that love still has many infinite possibilities. Since then, have also shared new insights on love and ways to make love as sweet as when first met. Although I know that many friends may still think that he is a romance scammer, I have also said many times that whether he is a romance scammer or not, knowing and loving him has long surpassed all my imaginations of love. So I think it is particularly worthwhile. Even if the money cannot recover it in the end, I have no regrets and instead feel particularly fortunate. Of course, I believe even more that when the time matures, he will definitely show up. And I really hope that we lovers could really join hands together after all. I want to comfort more people in hearts through singing and bravely launched my singing career. I have started recording my first singing video on Sunday, July 13th of this year. I also want to try my best to make some original songs to spread and share my many experiences and wisdom in love and life, hoping everyone can be safe, joyful, happy, and even reach to the other side of love and get the non-monetary highest level of luxury that human could have. It will always nourish our souls and make our lives more meaningful. So we will be more motivated and feel that everything is worth it. It will make all the impossible possible because this is the power of love. It is limited, but it can also be very powerful and have unlimited, infinite, unlimited, I mean, infinite possibilities. I have already negotiated with a modeling agency and they said that they would know they would notify me if there are any events in our area. In fact, if I want to travel around the United States in the future, I might contact them to see when and in which state they have events. I'll try to see if I can arrange to make any of them fit into my schedule. I hope I could manage to do both. If it really doesn't work, I can only use my poor photography skills to occasionally take a few nice selfies. An important part of my political philosophy is that I hope that the United States and China will join hands together and work together. And of course, including all countries in the world. We are a community of destiny and we are interdependent. We could potentially prosper and suffer together. China, a country known for its benevolence, justice, and morality, will become a particularly important contributor to maintain world peace. As mentioned before, China has a long cultural history and can be said to be the most experienced country in maintaining peaceful development among multiple ethnic groups. So it can really complement the United States politically. China not only acquired the communist elements initiated by Russia, but also appropriately utilized Western elements. As mentioned before, there is a basic logical drawback in the elements of communism. So if it is blindly pursued, it will inevitably lead to destruction. Fortunately, the 5,000-year cultural history inherited by Chinese play a role at a critical moment. In fact, many of the Western elements originally existed in our Chinese history and culture to a certain extent. So it was very effective to combine all the elements together and eventually achieve China's great development today. Of course, it is particularly worth mentioning that the computer internet technology of the United States can be said to be the most important factor in promoting the great development of the world today, pushing human civilization to a new height. The best impression of China on Western countries in history should be the transport of materials and some cultural ideas during the Marco Polo time. However, I found that the communication between the United States and China was not good enough. So there have always been misunderstandings and repellency. Needless to say, many times there are also some prejudices caused by conflicts of interest. Fortunately, my sincerity at that time touched my friends in the United States so that we can put aside our prejudices and no longer focus too much on interest. We paid more attention on the right and wrong, on factuality, and the impact on the society in the long run, and put the focus really more on benefiting the people. I also clarify with my friends in the United States to better understand that many of the China's policy are actually people first. It's just that because the time of rebuilding the country was relatively late, coupled with a large population, it is indeed more difficult. However, now it has overcome these difficulties at an astonishing speed and has once again made the world impressed. Therefore, I hope that China and the United States can cooperate better and more effectively to lead the direction of mankind's civilization, better spread love to every corner of the world, and make all people as happy as possible, as soon as possible. Not only should we maintain world peace permanently, but we should also push human civilization to a new glory. I will also set up my personal website as soon as possible, www.wenchaochen.com. That is www.wenchaochen.com. Hope you will regard and support. Thanks.